this time to kind of interact with each other, know about oneself, what are the kind of products that you deal in, talk about it, use the chat box. Just introducing myself, I'm Malvika Jaggi, representing GlobalLinker. And as most of you know, GlobalLinker is a networking platform with over 4 lakh plus businesses interacting with each other, talking to one another about sourcing new raw material, getting new suppliers, their new achievements, any new product launch, what is their digital catalog that looks like. So a lot of things are happening on the platform, and the session today is planned for you to also make the most of GlobalLinker, as well as to understand how you can use it, to understand the importance of networking. So I'd like to invite all of you to currently use the chat box to introduce yourself, your business. Let me also maybe put in the format that you can use so that it's easy for you to get started. Just give me a minute. Supriya, I think there's an issue in the chat box. People are not able to send anything. Can you just check? Last time also we had this problem. Adnan had kind of resolved that.
Can you check now?
Just give me a second. No, not yet. I can still send the message only to hosts and panelists, as well as the members also can't send the message to us currently. If you can just connect with Adnan.
I'll just do that.
Yeah. Yes, I can see somebody has raised their hand. While we try to figure the technical issue, let me just use this time to tell you what the session is going to be about today. So one is the way we'll do it, we'll keep it as interactive as possible. Once the chat box is open, you'll be able to kind of send in any feedback, comments, questions. The idea is to stay highly engaged, and so that you can make the most of it, so that when you're replying about anything in the chat box, you'll be able to kind of answer any of your queries. Don't wait till the end of the session to pose any questions. And I can see that the chat box is enabled for some members, but not yet for everybody. Okay, so we'll still continue to wait for Supriya to fix that, but and we'll start the session sharp at 4:05. So the way we are going to do this is that we will keep my talking points or my talking session a little short, so that we leave more time and room for any of you to kind of ask any questions. And that'll just help us interact with each other. And of course, you know that networking truly is your net worth, right? So it's important for, yes, I can see a lot of messages coming in, greetings, various businesses, importers. So good to meet all of you here today. And yes, the chat box is now enabled as well. So I'm now going to put in the format which you could use to kind of introduce yourself. Do use that, and we'll start sharp in just a minute or so. Yes, I can see now the number of people joining in have also increased drastically. And nice to read about your business in Rajasthan. Sujani, India, we're a home furnishing manufacturer and certified exporter. Our company specializes in the artistry of hand embroidery and Indian block printing technique. So good to meet you. In fact, I must tell you that these sessions in the past that we conduct one session every week. I host that. We have daily training sessions and we have regular webinars as well. We've seen that in the past, a lot of business opportunities have been made in these sessions itself. While talking about, let's say this organization spoke about pillows, rugs, throws and puffs. And then there was another business owner who wanted something like that. The connection really went through. So do use the opportunity to kind of introduce yourself. I can see there is Rajasthan Constructions who's used the format and told a little about their business. So hello and welcome to all of you today. Let me get started now. And like I told you earlier, we will keep this interactive. So please do use the Q&A section to ask any of your questions. So I'll just take a second to share my screen. Okay, so I hope you can see my screen now. So the session today is around how do you digitize your business? How do you network with one another? And what is the tool that you can use to kind of network with one another and digitize your business? So let's just see what all we're going to cover in the session today. I'll do a brief overview of GlobalLinker. I'll explain to you about the importance of a digital profile. I must say that all of you are aware about having the importance of a digital profile, but we'll see how to do it and how to kind of enhance your profile, how to add rich content to it. How do you kind of then attract more and more customers? How do you project your profile in the best possible way, such that people can come and then purchase from you? Or why is it important to have an online profile? And then how do you get started? How do you attract prospective buyers? And then we'll move on to the Q&A section. Like I mentioned earlier, for the ones who joined in new, we will keep the session short so that you can actually use the time to ask any questions and we can address them one-on-one live today. Okay, so so how many of you actually know about GlobalLinker, what it is, how it can help you? If you do know anything, do use the chat box to kind of put it in there. It will be nice to see what you understand of the platform and then help you grow further from that in terms of your understanding. But just for me to kind of explain, we all use Facebook to connect with one another or to make friends. And we use LinkedIn to connect for jobs or maybe work updates. Now, GlobalLinker is a world of connecting people for business opportunities. So it is a reality today where a lot of business owners like yourself actually are networking with one another. They're discussing about how to kind of source new raw material, how to kind of engage distributors, appoint agents, sharing awards and achievements of their own. So this community is actually free to join, but it is an invite-only program. And I'm happy to tell you that you've been invited to this online business circle. So hoping that we all make the most of it. Now, let me actually go ahead and use this time to show you a short glimpse of how the platform looks like. And we can discuss various features on the platform so that once you're after the session, you can go back and actually use some of these. So let me just move on to showing you my own profile. Okay, so this is the way the profile looks like when you log in. It is exactly like a social feed that you are used to. Like the way you use Facebook or LinkedIn, all you need to do is kind of put in any discussion. Here is where you talk about any business opportunity, any requirement that you have, or let's say about your products, about your launch of certain projects. So that's what you will kind of post in this area with images, to make it a post so that people actually engage. So if you see here on this post, you can see that this export organization, they're actually looking for buyers. They've put in their product details. Or let's say this organization is looking for a distributor in India and has mentioned about what all they deal in. And they're saying that they're looking for pan-India distributors. So the way this happens is it's not restricted to one organization or the other. Everybody is talking about their achievements. Or let's say the body Federation of Indian Export Organizations, they actually do weekly trade alerts. They're putting up weekly trade alerts for all the exporters to benefit. So this is a space that you should constantly follow. Now, because it's not restricted to any particular domain or industry type, you will find all industries members here, in fact, experts and industry leaders, I would say. So let's say here on my screen, you can see that there is a CA who's asking you to file your returns. So the idea behind putting up posts is not very just promotional, right? Like all of us, when we see an ad, we skip it. But when you kind of see somebody who's talking sense, somebody who is sharing knowledge, somebody who is discussing about the opportunities, the benefits, all of that, then you feel like engaging with that person and respect the fact that they know so much in their industry, and therefore they will be able to guide or handhold you in the right way. So business connections or business opportunities happen on the platform. I'm just giving you a tip that not just by putting up I deal in XYZ, but by explaining your credibility or your showcasing trust to your prospect viewers. And how do you do that? Now, not only by putting up posts, but you could look at writing articles. Now, let me actually show you how you can do that and how others are doing that already today. So the knowledge section is where you need to go to, and you can see not just consuming content or consuming rich information. Like, for example, there are companies that are talking about in the legal space, how to file your ITR, or in the exporter space, what are the trade alerts, or even Retailers Association of India is talking about what are the different changes that are happening. So not only that, but members or experts. So for example, Mr. Pramod Veturi, he is talking in the space of learning and development. Now, if I am a prospect customer of his, I will read his article, understand that yes, he knows his subject, and then go ahead and make a connection and see that yes, I can maybe make some business opportunities with him. So if you do have any content that you already regularly are writing, then do look at kind of putting that up here, and attracting people to learn and understand about you as well as what you do at your business. So this is the first section that I wanted to discuss about. Now, just moving to the next one is like-minded groups. Now, today we're here, all of us today are in the session to kind of know about GlobalLinker or know about how do you digitize your business. And therefore, we're a like-minded group today. But think of yourself once you, once you go back home, you'll want to, somebody in the agriculture space will want to join a group, or let's say somebody wants to join a banking group, marketing. So this is where you will kind of join this session, the groups that you feel are relevant to your industry. And what happens in these groups is people are discussing important information, trends, patterns, all of that within that group, or they're also asking for new connections to build so that they can maybe strike a business deal. So do explore the group section to become a part of what your interest lies in from the business angle. Now, moving to the next one is the event section. Now, just like how we have this session today and you all registered for it to be a part of it, it's not limited to GlobalLinker sessions. The sessions here, if you see, are from various, so for example, a workshop on how your e-commerce business through Amazon can be done. Or let's say Federation of Indian Export Organizations is doing a sellers meet for all the exporters. So it's not limited to any particular organization promoting their own events, but you as an SME, you as a small and medium enterprise can actually go on to this space and see all the various events that are happening in and around your area if it's a physical event, or even join online sessions. So again, this is a place that you should constantly check. If there are also courses that are happening, for example, this organization is providing a certificate course in export import management. So this is the space that you can check out for any events, webinars, sessions that are learning courses also that are being planned. Now, I'll come to the catalog bit a little later, but what is offers? Now, we understand and respect that as a small and medium enterprise or as a business owner, individually, it might be difficult for you during your business growth journey. And therefore, we've tried to curate a lot of businesses or market leaders from the industry to kind of give their services at a pre-negotiated rate. So during your business journey, whether it's business lending, whether it's getting a SEO service, or it's about banking, or it's maybe just getting a co-working space, or maybe an SMS module in Tally. So we've taken various segments that we've identified you as a business owner will want and provided to you these at a pre-negotiated rate so that you don't have to like look for it everywhere and you don't feel lonely at the end of the day. You have everything at one place and you'll be able to kind of use reliable services at this place. So moving to the next section, one of our important or one of our tools that we provide is the online store builder. And now when I say online store builder, it's not limited to B2C. A lot of people, a lot of organizations think that it's only, let's say, products related and it's only if I'm a business to consumer business. But the speciality here that we're trying to bring about is whether you are as a B2C or B2B or even an industrial products organization, you can have an online store, and it's very critical for you to have one. And I'll show you how organizations are actually using this to the maximum capacity, and where you can actually step in and ask for help if you're not able to do it, or you can read these case studies and see how members have actually grown their sales skyrocketing at a 125%, or you can actually see any video tutorials, any pre-recorded webinars are all here for you to kind of use and create your own digital catalog. So I will show you some examples, and let me actually just go ahead and show you a couple of them right away. But this is a social enterprise who trains or who helps women from the slums create such products, and then they're showcasing them on a e-commerce store to give them a livelihood. So this is how their store looks like. Best sellers, kurtas. So if you are a business who is into products, you could definitely use one of our themes, create your store or catalog in almost like 15 minutes if you have your product details ready. And I must tell you that this is absolutely free for you to do it, right from creating a custom domain. By a custom domain, I mean that we will be providing to you, and I'll show you that right now on the screen. You see a purchased domain by this organization, which is kritikala.org. But they started off with creating kritikala.linker.store. So that is the free URL that you will get. Again, a whole host of services that are being provided. Let me also show you, let's say, industrial goods store. So this organization is into beveling machines. Usually we think that it will just be an informational website, but the way they do it is not just being limited to allowing their customers to purchase products. They recognize that their customers need to kind of have customizations, and therefore the price varies, and so they have made it an inquiry format so that they don't lose out on the viewers on their website. So you could actually do this as well while creating your online store. You could allow your customers to either add products and purchase it, or send in an inquiry. And when I say when add products and purchase it, right from adding products to even fulfilling it from logistics partners to payment gateway providers, all of that is embedded for you to use and understand about. So these were two examples. There are many. Let me show you another. This is one more brand which deals in plants. They have made a very varied catalog, and they've also put in all their gifting options, the brochures. Let me just go to a product and show you how it looks like. So you'll see they've tried to keep the aesthetic appeal by putting in good photographs. So that's one critical aspect. Again, if you see here, various angles of the product have been added, various colors, dimensions, all of that. So you need to use all these sections to showcase your product in a best possible manner. Now, let me just go back and come back to our presentation, since I showed you a little about the live solution. I hope you are all also posing your questions in the chat box, but let me go back to our presentation. So now that we've seen this, the idea is basically for you to be able to make your business more discoverable as well as transaction ready. So whether you are an exporter or a retailer, no matter which category you lie in, you will be able to make your business more discoverable as well as transaction ready for your customers. Now, as business owners, we understand that resources are limited. And I've asked in the past, in fact, I'll ask it now as well. Just think about it. What is the most limited resource for you? In the past, we've seen a lot of people say that we have very less time, we have less money, bandwidth is an issue, capacity is an issue. So use the chat box and go ahead and tell us your problem. What do you think is the most limited resource for you? So no matter what this issue is, because you have identified that this resource is limited for you, you need to really plan before you act. So if you say that you have less time, then you need to identify where is this time going to be invested in. Are you putting it in the right direction? So the journey online can be very overwhelming because there are a lot of sections that you can cater to, but doing it step by step is actually key. So I'll help you identify what are the various channels you can use for your creating your online visibility, and how do you network and build connections, and then actually identifying your own sales channel. So while I will show you what are the various challenges and channels and how do you stay in touch with your prospect customers and tell them that you're ready to service them, let me kind of give you a small activity. Either on a piece of paper or on your mind, just draw a tree and fairly quickly, in about 10 seconds, draw a tree. Whether it's in your mind or on paper, draw a tree. Now, I can guarantee that more than 95% of us today in this group would have drawn it just like we were taught as kids, where you draw 2 lines for the bark and then you draw a cloud on top for the bush. Now, if we were all networking with each other, if this was a two-way communication, or let's say we had hired a conference room and we were all sitting together, and there was somebody who told you to draw a tree, and this was an activity where you were going to be judged, you all are made into groups, 100% nobody would make the same tree that we were taught as kids, because we will then brainstorm with each other, how do we draw a beautiful tree, how do we do it in such a, maybe then somebody will go and get some colors, so we'll get as creative as possible. And therefore networking, actually, I've given you a very basic example, but networking actually drives that. And when you do it within your business, now think of yourself talking to another business owner about a challenge that you're facing, and let's say you've told the solution, it's very evident that the person sitting beside you will actually help you through it, will tell you maybe as a critic or as a very optimistic person that, okay, this is what you're doing right, this is what you're doing wrong, and that will help you, that maybe you wouldn't have thought of that aspect. So we'll come to the sales channel part, but let's understand, why should you build your own sales channel? So you will agree that times are changing, and so we should as well. So, and I'm sure that every time you saw an advertisement these days, either you've clicked on the skip ad or you've actually blocked it. We all have. But on the other hand, how many of us have actually followed an influencer or a celebrity, somebody who's talking about the benefits of a product? So consumers today are trusting humans and not promotional content. Nobody is looking at seeing ads. People want to see how and why is that product or service going to help them. So you need to kind of invest in building your own brand. Only then you will be noticed. So that's what we'll cover in that segment. But why should you diversify on marketplaces? Now, and how also building a sales channel is the reason I've put it above the diversification on marketplaces is because today I'm sure most of you have your products, your services listed on marketplaces like Amazon, Flipkart, Myntra. There are various, right? So, but as a consumer, how often do you read the name of the seller? When you're making a purchase, let's say you're buying a pen on Amazon or Flipkart, how many times have you read the name of the seller? You are laying your trust on Amazon or the marketplace that you're operating in, that you will get the product will be good, you've seen the reviews, but you've not seen the seller's name. So when you are listing yourself on a marketplace, it is to attract customers for sure, it is to increase sales, but it's not necessarily to build your own brand name, which you're missing out on doing if you just be on marketplaces versus your own sales channel as well. Now, just moving to the next aspect of your digital presence. Now, at GlobalLinker, we have over 20,000 plus sellers, and I showed you a couple of them who created their online store. They're using this store capability to create their digital catalog. I personally have been in conversation with more than 10,000 plus SMEs over the past 4 years. And a lot of them have shared insights, data, learnings, which I'm trying to kind of collate and share with you all so that we all learn and grow together. But before we move forward, let me ask you, how many of you here shop online today? Do you purchase any product, whether it's from vegetables or anything on marketplaces, or let's say home and personal care products on a website URL? do you shop online today and do use the chat box? I will pause here to see yes, no, do you use it? Do you shop online? Okay, so we can see that there are a lot of people who shop online. But how many of you now here are allowing your customer to shop online? So we read initially a lot of businesses were introducing themselves. We are in exports, we deal in raisins, onions. How many of your customers are actually able to shop online? Okay, Mayank, I'm allowing it. Anybody else? Go ahead. Like I saw the yeses go very fast when you were shopping online, but do you allow your customer to buy from you in the same way? Not yet. Yes, that is the truth today. Over in all my sessions in the past, 90%, or rather, I would say 95% of them say that they shop online, but most of them don't yet allow their customers to shop online. So I'm leaving you with this thought to go back and see why is it that you're not allowing your customers to shop online. Now, let me come to maybe the digital roadmap, or what are the various stages of digitization. Now, firstly, you lay the foundation, right, by creating an online presence. And then you start building it by staying active, by writing articles, by getting backlinks to your store, your website, by promoting your products, services, businesses. You use social media, you use digital marketing, you start doing search engine optimization, or even you start doing SEM activities, you start paying for ads, and then you scale up by then seeing that, okay, you have some transactions happening, you start relying on data, you start growing and maximizing by identifying your trends. What are the kind of patterns that are happening? How are you able to increase profits and reduce costs? And once you've mastered this art is when you try to start sustaining it. You try to start getting repeat customers, and after that you want to earn goodwill and build your own loyalty versus actually start selling your products. So we know that this is the digital roadmap, right? But you might argue that I've been doing business over the years now traditionally. Let's say you have not an online, an offline store. You have customers coming to your shop. You have and purchasing your goods. So let's kind of take an example and try and see why you should have a hybrid model, if not completely online, but at least a hybrid model to stay in the game. Now, let's take an example. I have my colleague Supriya here. Let's say Supriya has a store of footwear in Mumbai, in Andheri, and she gets customers to her store about 50 to 100 in a day. She makes profit, but how does she really expand? If she is a traditional business and she has 50 to 100 customers coming every day, do use the chat box, put in your answers. She wants to now reach, let's say, 1,000 customers a day. How does she do that? Okay, so let me give you another scenario. She then starts thinking that, okay, now I have 50 customers. Let me kind of run a discount and attract people. I'll run a sale. And wow, she actually gets 200 people coming to her store every day. But think about it. She has customers coming in, but her profits have now gone down because she started running them at highly, deeply discounted rates so that she gets more number of customers. So while her one aspect of getting customers is fulfilled, her other aspect of making profits is actually reduced. But if she were to have done that online, so if she was getting 50 customers on her online store today, and she, let's say, did a discount or ran some promotional offers, got 200 customers by sale, but online, she would have also then received all the data of her customers who are coming and buying from her. She would then be able to kind of identify, okay, Supriya would think that on Tuesday, she's seeing the trends happening that between 5 to 9 p.m., people don't buy on my online store. The visitors are very less. Therefore, instead of running a sale at all times, instead of running a weekly sale, let me run a sale only on Tuesday between 5 to 9 p.m. because that is my lean period. Now, she could have done this on an online model, but doing it on an offline model would have been much more challenging, also because she would, even if she was tracking her customers' data, her employee would be writing it down manually in a register, and the ways to reach out to them would have been limited. So now if she would have done this online, she would have kind of understood who her audience is, whether they're coming to her for samples, for repeat orders, for just first time transactions, and how she's able to then kind of not lose out on profits yet increase her customer base. Now let's say Supriya's friend Adnan comes to the store and tells her that how he suddenly expanded his business and he started getting orders from Australia. Now, what will Supriya think? The one question that will definitely be in her mind is that why hasn't she gone online? And there's so much to do, even right from not only getting customers from around her area, not just in Andheri around 2-3 kilometers, but also domestically as well as internationally. So I'm sure you know the importance of going online, but it's a matter of now going ahead and implementing it. So let me move to the next aspect and show you a digitization index that I've tried to factor in various stages at which you may be as a business owner. So now all the different business functions that we have, whether it's marketing, sales, logistics, accounting, or whichever business function we might have, there are various areas and stages of digitization. So in marketing, let's say you have a logo, but you've not yet purchased your own domain name. That's where you'll fit in. Or let's say you started building trust by sending emails to your customers via your own domain name. That also adds a lot of credibility to you. You create your own online profile, you start staying active, you start contributing to blogs. That's when you progress to the next stage. You then allow your customers to actually purchase from you. You invite them to send in inquiries. You integrate various payment methods, you integrate various logistics. You actually then start delivering to the doorstep of your customer. So no matter which stage you are in, it's important for you to recognize that it's critical for you to move ahead. Today, you might not have, let's say, an online store, but what are the things that are restricting you from doing that is what you have to go brainstorm about your business and then recognize and do it. Now, just moving to another business function. Yeah. So let's say operations, sales. If you're able to track data efficiently, are you able to kind of make B2B transactions online? Are you allowing your B2B partners to transact with you online? So let's say you are a manufacturer, you have 100 distributors who in turn have 1,000 retailers each. Today, your salesperson is going to their doorstep, booking an order, showing them the products, writing down, and then let's say they had to write 30 products, they've written 80. Somebody else who's reading it has read it wrongly, dispatched the products, then there's an error, they send it back. So there are a lot of complications that have been happening. Now, if you are a B2B business and you want to smoothen this process, you can do this online. There are various tools to do it. In fact, we at GlobalLinker also have one such product where if you are a B2B business, if you are a manufacturer or a distributor and you want your B2B partners to order online from you, and you're able to give them customized things like maybe you customize a minimum order quantity. So distributor A gets 15 products, but distributor B needs to buy a minimum of 30 products. or let's say in the offline world where you have discounts different for various partners, you could do that. You could put in those parameters. You could also actually extend credit online to these partners. So if you are a business who are looking to kind of implement a tool like that for your business, then do just put in the chat box a message about it, and I'll have somebody post the session call you and discuss your requirement. Now, I'm actually going to leave you with the thought that it's important to be digitized. No matter how you do it, whether you are using Google listing, whether you are creating a GlobalLinker online profile, or you are listing yourself on marketplaces, the first and most critical aspect is to become digitized, and then build and grow from where you are. So in order to actually make a castle, you will have to lay the bricks. And that is what I am trying to motivate you to do today. Now, I'm going to actually open the session for any questions that you might have. And I'll also showcase, in case somebody is looking at how does a B2B solution work, or show me some examples of some other business. So I'm happy to kind of make this as interactive as possible now. And also I have put in, you can see my contact details on the display here right now. I will put it in the chat box as well. You could contact me via email or phone, post the session, and I'll be happy to help you. Let me now go ahead and see your questions. How do we send connection requests? Mr. Hemant has asked, and I will showcase that to you. You just give me a minute. Okay, so I'm going back to where I was on my on my GlobalLinker profile. And here where you see the icons of people, that's where you need to click on. You'll see that there are various people who are probably already sending you a connection request. Sorry, bear with me, my internet connection is slightly slow. You see here that Hemant, who just asked this question, has probably also sent me a connection request. I have various new connections that are happening. So you use this section to kind of go on to the connections tab and explore based on either city, or these are my current connections that I'm showing you. But if you are new to this, let's say you want to add connections in a particular state from a particular industry, you can do that kind of filtering as well. So I'll show you that. I clicked on add connections, and all I need to do is browse through that network. And since my internet is slow, it's not coming up, but here is where you'll see the filters, where you can actually just click on it and go ahead and send an invite request. So that's how you can add connections to your base. I hope that answers your question. Okay, so Mr. Harsha Nalabulu, can we write blogs, articles, and publish on this platform? 100%. I would want you to do it. It is the first step in establishing trust for your prospect viewer. So please do go ahead and use the section to kind of write articles, blogs, and not only you. In fact, if you are an organization with, let's say, 100 employees or 10 employees, all of them can be stakeholders talking about your business. There is a feature where you can actually, let me also showcase that to you, but you can actually just put in all your team members or your employees in an Excel sheet, upload it, and they will all be invited to be a part of the platform. They all will then become the face of your organization, where anybody contributing any articles, blogs will actually improve that in terms of your own business credibility. So let me showcase that. as well. Just 1 second. So while I was talking, I saw somebody ask, can I do multiple connections? Yes, you will be able to do multiple connections. You just go ahead and click on it and then come to this page and go and connect. Now, if you see here, I'm getting another notification which says somebody is wanting to connect with me. Let me go back and show you how you can actually use this platform for your own base as well. Now, let's say you are an organization with 50 employees and you want to talk to only your employees, you will be able to use this section. Now, when I go here and I write something, I will be able to kind of post it only for my own organization. So here you can see I'm doing a public post, but I want only, let's say, my companies to see the post. So I'll do that and use it and put up only where, let's say, a happy birthday post, or let's say a congratulating for a promotion, all of that, so that not external organizations can see it. Now, how do you kind of also sorry, just give me a second. There seems to be I actually lost my flow of thought on what I wanted to share. So let me just try and recollect that. But in the meanwhile, somebody has asked Kavita. So Kavita asks, can I get the digital roadmap and marketing details which you explained? This session is being recorded. It will be sent to you post the session if you have registered your business via GlobalLinker. So I hope that solves the purpose. Wonderful explanation. Thank you. The objective behind this is for you to make the most of it, understand, ask anything, and maybe grow together with us. So when will this repeat? So if you're asking me when the session will repeat, then I do this session every Thursday. In fact, based on any of your comments, if you want me to cover a new topic, a new area that you would want to learn about, you could put that in the comment section and I'll kind of see this and try and cover it in the next session as well, which happens every Thursday at the same time, 4 p.m. I'm not able to post my business requirement. Mr. Mayank, can I request you to send me an email with a screenshot? I'm not sure what is the problem that you are facing, and I'll be happy to have you assisted. Mr. Noel Raj, can we link our domain to this website? 100%. If you have noel.com and initially you use the free version of doing noel.linker.store, right after you've created your store, you will be able to link noel.com. The example where I showed you kritikala.org versus kritikala.linker.store, you will be able to do that as well if you have the domain purchased and if you have the SSL certificate. How many requests can be sent at a time maximum connection limit? There is none on our platform. You can go ahead and invite as many as you want. I missed it when you shared it before, not sure what you're talking about. I can't copy and save the content shared in the comment box. Again, I'm not very clear on the question. Can we link our existing website to GlobalLinker store, or should we have to purchase separate from GlobalLinker? No, in the profile itself, there is a section where you put in all your social media links, your website URL, all of that can be added. Like I told you, it's not about GlobalLinker. The idea is for you to be digitized. So it's not necessary that you need to purchase anything separately from GlobalLinker. In fact, creating your store is absolutely free of cost. In case you want somebody to assist you or help you, you don't have the time, you don't have the expertise, or you don't want to learn how to do it, we're happy to do it for you at a nominal cost. If somebody would want to create their store at a nominal cost, do contact me post the session and I'll be happy to kind of discuss that with you. I'm not able to post my business requirement. Like I told you, please send me a screenshot of what is the error. Shashikala, how much will be the cost? So we have different packages based on your requirement now, and I can share those packages with you post the session if you do contact me, or I'll have an expert also contact you about it. Mr. Amol Mahale, what is the difference between the Indian Business Portal and Indian Trade Portal? So first of all, Indian Business Portal is basically almost like a trade hub where buyers, foreign buyers, get to meet Indian sellers. So we have over 2,000 plus suppliers from India already listed on this marketplace called Indian Business Portal, which basically allows foreign buyers to kind of see their products and purchase from you. So that is the one difference. Indian Trade Portal is an informational based URL, and we have a session tomorrow exclusively for exporters. So you could post this question there as well. The Federation of Indian Export Organizations team will be able to answer better about Indian Trade Portal. My products are still under review. Since I don't know much about the website, I would want to know when will this change status. So Mr. Mayank, let me check that for you. If you can actually send me a note post the session, I will have it expedited and see if there was any problem in the post that you did, and therefore they're still under review. So do contact me, send me a mail, and we'll have it sorted if it's not. Somebody is asking, all the tools shown in the platform are free, or will there be any subscription charges? Basic tools are free. At some point, there will be premium tools, which in order to use, you will have to pay. But you will be able to kind of use all these free of cost, which are not in the premium subscription. So that's the answer to that. Roop Sharma, when will this seminar repeat again? We will have this session every Thursday at 4 p.m. So you can join next time, or even the recording will be shared with you post the session on your email ID if you've registered via GlobalLinker. I would like to understand the role of state governments like Telangana state government and the GlobalLinker platform. GlobalLinker has various large organizations, government bodies who are partnered with us. Let me also maybe show that to you. But partners like ICICI Bank, Telangana state government, or even Federation of Indian Export Organizations, Union Bank of Philippines. So there are various organizations that want their business owners to be digitized. And specifically to you in terms of Telangana government, the government wants to be the first state to be 100% digitized, wants all their business owners to be digitized. So that is the reason they have created this platform for you. And like I mentioned, again, it's a free program to join, but it's by invite only. And therefore the government, because they want to promote digitization, they have invited Telangana-based organizations. Okay, moving to the next question. How do we find buyers? From Sunit Shukla. So once you are transaction ready, I would recommend you start showcasing your products or your business onto the marketplaces that exist. For example, the Indian Business Portal that I spoke about. And not only that, but don't be dependent on various things. Like I told you in the beginning, You should build your own sales channel. And so you should actually, once your transaction ready, you should allow your customers to buy from you. And how do you reach them? You do certain social media activities, you do search engine optimization activities. So there are various angles, like I mentioned in the digitization index. So we can discuss maybe in our next Thursday session on which stage you are. I would invite you to join again and discuss towards the ending of the session that which stage you are. You could showcase your business, and we'll see how we can kind of help you find buyers. Okay, moving to the next question. How do I create a catalog? Now, you can actually create a digital catalog of yours in the form of a store, whether B2C or B2B. We have training sessions every day at 7:30 p.m. in relation to how do I get started, how do I create my store, how do I do promotions management, how do I do communications management or catalog management. So do join in the daily sessions at 7:30 p.m. by an in-house expert, Mr. Adnan. My colleague Supriya will put in the link where you can join the session. Yes, she's put it already. So can you provide a checklist which will show what medium should an entrepreneur use in order to digitize their business? I will take it on for a next session because we're already running short on time today. But I'll keep that in mind and come back to you, Mr. Amol. And I think that's a very nice suggestion. We can all kind of brainstorm and see what are the various aspects or mediums that every entrepreneur should use to digitize their business. Are there any more questions? Can you please share your contact details? My colleague put it in the chat box, but I'm putting it again. Supriya, can you please put in the chat because I'm not able to use the chat section again. How much buyers location ad with post? Mr. Hemant, I can't follow the question. If you can maybe unmute yourself and ask as well, that's completely okay. Can we write blogs or articles and publish? Yes, 100%. I answered this question from another user also in the past. Are there any further questions, or we can end the session for today? Okay, so Supriya, I think there's some problem with the chat box again. People are not able to send their questions, but do contact us offline and send us any questions that you might have, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for joining in today. When will the next session be? The next session will be on Thursday, next Thursday, every Thursday at 4 p.m. So you can join in again. Not able to see the 7:30 p.m. link. My colleague Supriya, whose name on the chat is showing as GlobalLinker. No, it's not coming up, Supriya. You'll have to probably, it's coming only to hosts and panelists. So not able to see the contact details. This is the link where you can join the 7:30 p.m. session. And I'm also sharing my contact details again. Here is my contact details. Will the next session be on 28th at 4? Yes, that's right. Okay, thank you so much for joining in today.